I gave my stepchildren everything they ever asked for. Then I heard them call me the backup dad. So I disappeared for 2 weeks, and what happened next left them speechless. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reddit Visuals. This story isn't easy to tell, not because it's dramatic or scandalous, but because I'm still reeling from how casually someone can discard the person who held them up for years. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm 42. Been with my wife Laura for almost 11 years now. She has 2 kids from a previous marriage, Zach and Lily. When I met her, Zach was 11, and Lily had just turned 9. Their dad, Mark, had vanished shortly after the divorce. No visits, no calls. The guy basically ghosted his own kids. So yeah, when I came into their lives, they were still figuring out how to fill a father-shaped hole. And I, naively, thought I could help with that. At first, it was rough. Zach wouldn't even look me in the eye. Lily only called me that man. But I stayed. I showed up. Parent-teacher conferences, piano recitals, soccer games, ER visits. I was there through every scraped knee and broken heart. When Zach wanted a gaming laptop for Christmas, I made it happen. Lily wanted ballet lessons at a studio 2 towns away. I drove her there twice a week and waited outside with a coffee and a book every single time. I didn't just marry Laura. I took on her children like they were my own. And for a while it felt like we were becoming a real family. Maybe not perfect, but real. I mean, they never called me dad, but I didn't push for it. I figured it had to come from them when they were ready. So imagine my surprise when, 10 years in, I heard the phrase that would unravel everything. It was a Tuesday night, nothing special. I had just come home from work. My back was killing me. Spent the whole day helping my buddy move a huge load of drywall. Laura wasn't home yet, so I thought I'd surprise her by making dinner. I'm chopping onions in the kitchen, and I hear Zach and Lily in the living room. I don't think they knew I was home, and I certainly don't think they realized I could hear them. Zach's voice first. He's not even our real dad. Why does he act like he is? Then Lily, laughing. I know, right? Backup dad needs to chill. I froze. Backup dad? Like I was some substitute teacher they tolerated when the real one bailed. I didn't say anything. I didn't even move. I just stood there, knife in hand, staring at the cutting board like it had betrayed me. 10 years. 10 freaking years. And that's all I was to them? Backup? Laura got home an hour later. I played it cool. Didn't say a word about what I heard. Just smiled, served dinner, and nodded when Zach said, thanks. That night, I barely slept. I laid in bed next to my wife of over a decade, and for the first time ever, I felt like a stranger in my own home. Over the next few days, something in me shifted. I started replaying moments I'd brushed off before. Zach's eye rolls, Lily's silence at family dinners, the Christmas when I got them those exact headphones they wanted and they just said, cool, then went back to their phones. I'd made excuses for all of it. Teenagers, hormones, stress. But maybe, just maybe, I'd been blind. That Saturday, Laura had to leave for a work trip. She'd be gone for 5 days. I saw it as a sign. So I disappeared. Not in a dramatic, movie-style way. I didn't leave a note, didn't fake my death. I just turned off my phone, packed a small bag, and drove to a cabin I'd once helped a friend renovate 3 hours out of town. It was empty, he owed me a favor, and I needed air. I stayed there for 2 weeks. No calls, no messages, just peace. I read, I slept, I thought. I hiked through the woods and asked myself questions I didn't want to answer. Why did I stay in a family that never saw me? Why did I give my everything to people who thought I was a placeholder? And the worst one, what if I left and no one cared? Well, they did care, just not in the way you'd think. I came back on a Monday morning, walked through the front door, and was immediately met with silence. Not because no one was home. Laura was sitting at the dining table. She looked up at me like I was a ghost. Where the hell were you? Her voice wasn't angry. It was scared. I looked at her, said nothing, and walked to the kitchen. Everything was the same, except it wasn't. Zach and Lily came down the stairs 5 minutes later. Both looked tired, like they hadn't slept much. Zach mumbled, "Hey." Lily avoided my eyes. I sat at the kitchen counter, poured myself a glass of water, and said, "So, backup dad's back. Miss me?" The silence that followed could have cracked glass. Laura's face contorted. "What are you talking about?" And I told them, word for word, what I heard, when I heard it, and how it felt. Laura looked devastated. Zach's mouth hung open. Lily went pale. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I just laid it out. The years I gave them. The time. The money. The emotional investment. I reminded them of the flu nights, the college visits, the soccer injuries, the late-night Target runs, and I ended with one sentence. If I'm just a backup, maybe it's time I start treating you all like the bench warmers you clearly think I am. Laura started crying. Lily finally spoke. "We didn't mean it like that." Zach added, "It was a joke. Just dumb words." But it wasn't just a joke. It was something they'd felt, said casually, comfortably, because deep down, they never really saw me as their anything. Laura tried to apologize, but I wasn't done. I told them I was stepping back, not leaving, not divorcing, but I was done overextending myself, done bending over backward to be a father figure when I was clearly seen as a temporary employee. And then I did it. I pulled out a folder of finances, every major expense I'd covered in the last 5 years, college funds, car repairs, rent when Zach moved back in, a new phone for Lily last Christmas, all of it. I slid it across the table. "I don't want this money back," I said, "but from now on, I'm not the default provider. If you need something, ask your real dad. Let's see how far that gets you." Zach's jaw tightened. He hasn't called in 5 years. Lily whispered, "He doesn't even know I'm graduating this summer." I shrugged. "Then maybe you'll learn what a real backup actually looks like." Over the next few days, things shifted. Tension hung heavy in the air. No more casual, "Hey, can I borrow your car?" No more last minute, "Can you send me money for a textbook?" I wasn't cruel. I didn't gloat. But I held the line. Then something strange started happening. Zach knocked on my door one night, said he wanted to talk, not ask for anything, just talk. He told me about a girl he was dating, how he wasn't sure if he was good enough for her. I listened. I didn't give advice, just listened. Lily came into the garage a few days later while I was fixing the old lawnmower. She sat on the tool bench, watched me for 30 minutes, then said, "I didn't mean it. The backup thing. I don't even know why I said it." I didn't say much in return, just nodded. But I noticed something. They started trying. Not big gestures, but real ones. Lily cleaned up dinner without being asked. Zach offered to drive me to a checkup when my back flared up again. And slowly, the walls between us, built by a decade of expectations, disappointment, and unspoken hurt, began to chip away. A month later, on Father's Day, I got 2 cards. Zach said, "You were never backup. We just never knew how to tell you." Lily's was simpler. Just a handwritten note. "Thanks for staying, even when we made it hard." I didn't cry. Not then. But when I opened the drawer later and saw the cards next to the receipts I almost kept as proof, I burned the receipts. Because maybe this time they do see me. And maybe that's enough. So, was I the a-hole for disappearing for 2 weeks to prove a point to my family? Was I wrong to hold up a mirror to the kids I raised like they were mine? Or did they finally need to see what life was like without the man they took for granted? Let me know in the comments, what would you have done in my shoes? And if you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to help the channel grow. Your support means everything.